Hello, Capricorn. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Tarot in Wonderland. I don't know why my brain paused on that. By Barbara Moore, illustrated by Eugene Smith. Website at the bottom is llewellyn.com. Feel free to freeze frame and check that out if you want to. Of course, supportive oracle cards are upside down. The Elemental Oracle, which is way too shiny. Hold on. There we go. By Stacy DeMarco. Artwork by Kinga Rishke. I'm probably butchering that. I apologize. But there's the spelling of that name, so if you want to check out that artist, go ahead and look at that. There is a website. It is rockpoolpublishing.co. I've seen it as rockpoolpublishing.co.uk, and I've seen it as rockpoolpublishing.com. But there they have .co, so feel free to check that out if you want to. I keep wondering if it's like a website or that's just some other reason they're putting it like that. I don't know. But feel free to use that information if you'd like to use that information, of course. What do we have for Capricorn? I feel like a little zippy. Ooh, Ace of Cups at the bottom, and it showed up at the end. What, these 3 cards? Okay. Music, inner core, oh. And pressure. None of this is going to be bad for you. Pressure especially, I feel like is good for Capricorn. Capricorn is kind of like, if there's no pressure, what am I doing here? Like, I don't know how to put this. Like, there should be some weight to the situation. There should be something coming out of it. There should be some effort. If there's not, why am I here? Why am I bothering? So ironically for you, I feel like if there's no pressure, whatever this is, there's good pressure and there's bad pressure, right? So like the pressure to perform, but like on your terms, there should be something worth fighting for. There should be something worth working for. That's what I keep getting with whatever this situation is. Like, if there's no pressure, then why am I here? I keep getting that. I hope that makes sense. I don't know if that sounds weird the way I'm saying it, but the inner core is like, it's built from something. Like, it's like the foundation. Like, Capricorn is the foundation. If I'm not holding something up, like, what's the point? What's the point of having a basement if there's no house above it? What's the point of having things here if there's nobody here to use them? It's kind of like that attitude. Like, am I not saying it right? Why am I tripping on it? We'll do a little dice roll just to see if there's something I'm missing. I don't know. Am I saying it wrong? I feel like if I'm saying it right, you're going to be like, yeah, I know. Get off me. There's no mystery to it. The moon card upside down. And then the Knight of Fire is like, if it's just here for a second, what's the bother? Like, if it's just, like, if there's no foundation, if there's no pressure, it's not going to last. There should be something to build from here. And I'm getting, like, the 4, is it the 4? Yeah. The 4 of Pentacles. Sometimes I wait. Sometimes I wait for a little pressure to build before I put this into action because I want to make sure it's built with something. If it's just going to last for a minute, or even just if it's just going to last for a season, maybe I'll just let it pass because why bother? But if it's going to have something to it, I want to make sure there's some substance here. Whatever the situation is you're looking at, I feel like you've been holding back. Maybe that's another reason why there's pressure here. Like, before I get involved with this, I'm going to make sure I really need to. So I'm going to hold back. Nothing's going to fail. But it might be a little bit more difficult by me waiting. But quite frankly, if I wait, it might disappear. If it doesn't disappear, that means there's something here to work with. So I'm just waiting to see if it's actually worth my effort. I'm holding back because I'm waiting to see if it's worth my effort. And I'm not really sure when I'm first looking at this with the moon card if this is really worth my effort. So I'm holding back. I'm seeing what it's made of. There's a change here. There's a change going on. Okay, these 3 cards come in together. Okay. Not until I see the change. I need to see that there's something here to really build from. there's something with the pressure. I'm still feeling like I'm not quite hitting it right. There's something where it needs to be at the point where I feel like, okay, actually, yeah, do need to step in if I want that to survive. But it's like I'm not believing that it's really going to last anyway. I need to see some type of real proof that it's going to work. It's kind of like I'm not getting involved right off the bat. I'm waiting. I get that. And I'm making other people think I'm not interested. And that's not the truth. But it's kind of like I'm letting them think that because I want to see what they're going to do. If they think that I'm not going to get involved, what do they do on their own? Are they waiting for me to fix this for them? Are they waiting for me to take care of this for them? Because if they are, they're betting on the wrong person. Because I'm not here to take care of anybody. If you do your part, I do my part. I'm not here to do everything. I'm not here for freeloaders. I'm not showing up for that. Nope, not showing up for that at all. I feel very Capricorn energy. No. I'm not here to help you. No, you're not going to freeload off of me. You got the wrong person. No. Way got the wrong person. But they're showing that value. They're finally showing that value. I almost feel like that maybe is part of the pressure here. Maybe the pressure isn't on you, and maybe that's where I'm like a little off with it. The pressure is on somebody else or something else. And when that pressure starts to show value, okay, you're showing you're worth your time. This is showing that it's worth your time. It's going to put in its own effort. It's going to hold things up the way it should. All right, once that shows up, then I feel like I'm slowly coming around to look at it. I'm doing a lot more behind the scenes is what I'm getting. It says ice. And I know people think when you see ice, things are frozen, and I get that. But I'm noticing the bottom part of the card. I feel like you're going to do a lot of things behind the scenes. You're going to be working and putting effort into things. You're not going to be leading the way. I feel like I'm like, no. I'll support. I'll help. I'll even guide. Not leading the way. I'm not going to be the one who holds it up. I refuse. But I'll support, and I'll help. And I'll do a lot of work behind the scenes, but I'm not going to be leading the way. It's going to be dependent on somebody else holding that responsibility. And as long as they hold that responsibility, I'll support. I'm not going to lose anything. I'm not gambling anything here. So anything I do, I'm going to make sure I get what I need out of it. We're not playing that game either. But I'll help. I'll be a helpful energy here. I feel like it takes a minute for whoever or whatever you're dealing with to really figure out that, like, yeah, you're very different from them, but you are very loyal to the right cause. And when you say you're going to do something, I feel like you very much put it out there. Like, as long as you do what you're supposed to, you can count on me. But if you start playing this and messing things up and you're going to walk away from your responsibility, don't think I'm going to stand around and pick it all up. I'll walk away. You walk away, I walk away too. I'll make sure I get what I need out of the situation, and I'm not going to lose. I'm not going to lose, but I'm not going to hold up the whole situation just because you decided you're not going to hang around. You walk away, I walk away. I'm just going to walk away with what I deserve. I don't care what you walk away with. It's your problem. I feel like I don't know why it's coming across kind of harsh, but it kind of is. I think maybe that's okay. What is this? Atoms. What is it built from? You do match this person. It looks like there's a very strong contrast there, but it's a very good connection. I don't know what the other card is either. What is that? The Hermit. This is a very complimentary card. It just has to show where it matches up. I feel like this is somebody who maybe something that you've seen where they haven't really held up, or you're kind of questioning, like, do they really hold up? Do they really stick with their responsibilities? Do they really do that? This is somebody I feel like does better with some support. And when they feel your support, it gives them more courage. Not more courage, that's not right. More conviction. Kind of like they don't want to let you down because they feel like I only get one chance with Capricorn. I let them down once, that's it. I never get another chance. But on the other hand, you also are the energy when somebody shows that they're responsible and they do what they're supposed to and they do what they say they're going to do, you do celebrate that. You're kind of like, listen, I'm doing what I do. You do what you're supposed to do. I'm seeing you do that. I give you praise for that. We're applicable. We're appropriate. Like, you're not going to be tripping all over yourself. I'm not saying that. But, like, you'll acknowledge it. And I feel like, it's kind of like they're building trust with you is how they feel. But they also feel like if they don't have the ability to, like, screw it up. They feel like they have to keep it on point. And it's not like it's that hard. They just got to make sure they stick with their responsibility, and they do. This person is building rapport with you. I don't know if rapport is the right word. They're building trust and rapport. I feel like this person is going to like become more and more important to you over time. Capricorn, most of the time, I know there's a lot of different flavors of Capricorn, but when somebody proves to you that you can depend on them and they do what they're going to say and they're worth their word, they say, I'm going to do this, and unless something catastrophic happens where they physically just cannot do it, when you feel like every effort they could have made, they did to make it keep going, when you believe in them, you're like, yeah, I see that, when they say they're going to do it, they do everything they can to make it happen. I trust their word. When they say they're going to be there tomorrow at 3, unless there's some physical reason where they physically cannot get up and do it, I know they're going to be there. And if they're not there, it's kind of like I need to find out what happened to them because something bad probably happened. I have to track them down to make sure they're okay, because if they didn't show up, it was not for some frivolous reason. There was a good reason why they didn't. Now I need to go find them and find out why they didn't show up. This is going to be a great connection for you. Ooh. It's a weird card, but it's the Lovers. It's so weird in this deck. Every time I see it, I complain about it. I'm like, that is the weirdest Lovers card. I don't know what to say about it. But this person is going to prove to you, the longer you know them, the happier you're going to be with them. They take it very, very seriously. The way they don't take it as a joke that, responsibility is not negotiable. It's like, if you mess it up, you only mess it up once. And they take that extremely seriously. Give it time. This situation, the more time you put into it, the better it's going to be. Anything else with that? That Lover's card is so awkward. I don't know. I complain about it like every time I see it. I love this deck, but that one card, it's kooky. It's a little kooky. 10 of Pentacles, that's reiterating more of the same. And the High Priestess. They will talk with you before they give up on something, by the way. So I do feel that there will be times in the future where they kind of want to stop or they kind of want to walk away, but they will definitely consult you first. And if you seem like you're very unhappy with it, they won't do it. They'll stick with it. But if they want out and you're like, well, if you do it like this, I understand if you want to leave. It's kind of like, I want to sell this house. I don't really want it anymore. And you're like, well, if you clean it up right, you do the proper repairs, you sell it for a good price, I feel like that's an acceptable way to get out of that house. Does that make sense? I feel like that makes sense. Kind of like if you're just going to walk away and abandon it and just not pay the bills and not clean up your mess and not sell it, then that's completely irresponsible. But if you're like, all right, you don't want this house anymore, and you find a way to pay it off, clean it up correctly, do the repairs so you can sell and make more money off of it than you bought it for, all right, that's acceptable. Like, they'll consult you before they end a responsibility. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like, well, you'll talk with them. Like, well, if you really want out of this, like, for example, they want to change jobs. They're like, well, make sure you tie up your loose ends. Make sure people know what you're doing. Make sure you respectfully end that job. And then go into this next one. Make sure the next one you're going into you surely do want. We don't want to be job hopping. Make sure you find the next job you go to actually do want it, and you're going to stick with it for a couple of years at least to make sure that it is a fit or it's not a fit. Like, just don't go into it frivolously like you just want anything. You'll tell them, like, this is the way I feel like if you do it this way, that makes sense to me. I feel like this is a good way to do that. Don't just leave this just for anything. Make sure you're leaving it for something that's worth it. Blah, 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 blah. Does that make sense? I don't know why I feel like that makes sense to you. If it hits, I feel like it makes sense. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to let it go because I feel like I'm just blah, 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 blah. So, anything else? All right. Thank you for watching and going through my ramble if you're still here. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.